Earth detected this ship at exactly 0317 Universal Time. At first it appeared as a faint anomaly beyond the orbit of Pluto, a subtle distortion in deep space telemetry. Operators assumed it was background interference, but within seconds the signal repeated with precise intervals. Not random, not natural, intentional. Every major observatory turned its focus toward the anomaly. Chile confirmed it. Japan confirmed it. The orbital arrays confirmed it. Something massive was moving inward through the solar system. It emitted no visible propulsion, no thermal signature, no radiation plume. It simply advanced. When the first composite image rendered on global screens, silence filled every control room. The object was enormous, larger than any human-made structure in space. Its surface appeared smooth yet fluid, reflecting starlight in patterns that shifted like breathing metal. There were no weapons, no visible engines, no markings of any known civilization. Within minutes, governments were informed. Within minutes more, the news leaked. Social media ignited. Live streams gathered millions of viewers. The world watched together as the unknown ship crossed the Kuiper Belt without changing speed. It did not accelerate. It did not decelerate. It moved with steady purpose. Then something unsettling happened. The signal that had first revealed the object abruptly stopped. Every deep space frequency went quiet. Background cosmic noise itself seemed reduced. Scientists recalibrated instruments again. And again, nothing. A silence deeper than vacuum. Shortly after the silence, communication satellites at the edge of the system began to drop offline. Not destroyed, not damaged, simply unresponsive. One by one, their signals vanished. Engineers scrambled to reroute data. Military channels switched to backup systems. The world felt a subtle tremor of unease. The ship crossed Neptune's orbit without deviation. No defensive systems activated on Earth, no missiles launched. Leaders hesitated because there was nothing to target. No aggression detected, only presence. Inside the Global Space Monitoring Center, the chief analyst spoke quietly. "It is not attacking. It is observing." That statement echoed across every network. Observing meant intelligence. Observing meant intention. And intention meant uncertainty. Across the planet, people gathered around screens. Families stayed awake through the night. The live stream tracking the object broke viewing records. If you are watching this story unfold, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? Now, because what happens next will redefine everything we believe about our place in the universe. As the ship approached Uranus, a faint pulse radiated outward. Not a blast, not an explosion, a wave. Earth's magnetosphere fluctuated slightly in response. Power grids flickered in isolated regions. Nothing catastrophic, just enough to prove the object had influence returned. No signal, no message, only the steady image of the most mysterious structure ever recorded drifting. Closer to humanity, Earth detected this ship. Then everything went silent. And that silence was only the beginning. Subscribe to the channel and stay with this story. Because in the next chapter, the silence will break in a way no one expects. By the time the ship reached the orbit of Saturn, the entire planet was watching in unified tension. Schools paused lessons. Financial markets slowed to half capacity. Military commands remained on alert yet held their fire. There was still no sign of weapons, no visible engines. And still the object advanced with quiet certainty. Scientists noticed a subtle shift in its trajectory. Not toward Earth directly, but toward the inner system with calculated precision. Every calculation confirmed the same impossible result. The ship was adjusting its course without expelling energy in any measurable way. It was as if space itself bent slightly to accommodate its movement. Then the silence broke. Across multiple frequencies, a low structured resonance appeared. It was not sound in the traditional sense. It was a patterned fluctuation embedded inside cosmic background radiation. The pattern repeated every 8 seconds. Identical each time, deliberate. Global decoding teams worked nonstop. Artificial intelligence systems attempted translation. Linguists, physicists, cryptographers all contributed theories. Some believed it was a greeting. Others feared it was a countdown. No one could prove either. As the signal repeated, Earth experienced brief synchronized disturbances. Clocks drifted by microseconds. Satellite positioning systems recalibrated automatically. Even deep ocean monitoring stations recorded faint anomalies. The ship was interacting with the fundamental systems humanity relied upon. Not destructively, but demonstrably. Inside the main observation chamber, the chief analyst spoke again. "It is mapping us." Mapping meant data collection. Data collection meant evaluation. The idea unsettled governments more than open hostility would have. A visible threat can be confronted. Silent assessment cannot. Live streams covering the event surpassed every previous global broadcast. Billions tuned in as the ship crossed Jupiter's orbit. For the first time, its surface began to change more dramatically. Waves of light rippled outward from its center. Symbols formed briefly across its hull, then dissolved. Some viewers claimed the patterns resembled mathematical constants. Others insisted they mirrored human neural activity scans that had recently been published. The possibility was chilling. Was it learning from Earth in real time? If you are following this unfolding mystery, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel now. The deeper we go, the more astonishing the truth becomes, and you will not want to miss what happens in the final chapter. Every active deep space probe transmitted a burst of corrupted data simultaneously, not destroyed, not overridden, altered. Embedded within the corrupted streams was a refined version of the repeating resonance, clearer, stronger, focused inward, toward Earth. Power grids flickered again across several continents. Aircraft switched to manual navigation for precaution. Communication networks slowed but did not collapse. The ship was demonstrating capability without unleashing destruction. Then once more, absolute silence. The resonance vanished. The disturbances ceased. The ship maintained position just beyond the asteroid belt, waiting. Humanity realized something profound. This was not an invasion. It was a test. Stay subscribed and keep watching. Because in the final chapter, the purpose of the ship will reveal itself, and the silence will finally make sense. The ship remained motionless just beyond the asteroid belt for nearly 12 hours. No signal, no resonance, no visible transformation. The silence felt heavier than before, as if the entire solar system were holding its breath. On Earth, anticipation turned into fragile calm. Power grids stabilized. Satellites resumed partial function. Communication channels cleared. Some leaders cautiously suggested the event might be ending. Others warned that silence from an unknown intelligence was never reassurance. Then it happened. Every active screen across the planet flickered at the exact same millisecond. Phones, televisions, control panels, digital billboards, aircraft displays, submarine monitors. Not hacked, not overridden, synchronized. A single image appeared. It was not a symbol, not language. It was a live projection of Earth as seen from deep space, rotating slowly, illuminated by sunlight. Every continent visible, every ocean calm. There was no accompanying message, no sound, just Earth. Scientists quickly confirmed the perspective. The image was not taken from any known satellite or telescope. The angle suggested it originated from a point directly in front of the unknown ship. It was showing humanity itself. Moments later, a faint pulse radiated outward from the object. This time, instruments detected something extraordinary. The pulse carried compressed data, not destructive energy, information, vast quantities of it, mathematical frameworks beyond current physics, energy equations hinting at propulsion without combustion, structural models that suggested gravity manipulation was possible. The ship was not attacking. It was demonstrating understanding. Inside the Global Space Monitoring Center, the chief analyst whispered what everyone was beginning to realize. It has finished evaluating us. Data pulse concluded. The image of Earth faded from every screen simultaneously. The ship's surface brightened once more, its flowing patterns accelerating. For the first time since detection, it changed vector sharply. Not toward Earth, not toward the sun, outward. Without engines firing, without any measurable propulsion, it began accelerating away from the solar system. Space around it appeared to distort subtly, like heat rising from pavement. Within minutes, it crossed Jupiter's orbit in reverse. Within an hour, it was beyond Saturn. Telescopes strained to maintain visual contact. The object grew smaller, dimmer, then almost indistinguishable from distant starlight. Before disappearing completely, one final resonance passed through the system. Short, clear, no interference. Instruments translated its mathematical structure into a simple universal concept. Observation complete. Then everything went silent again. But this time the silence felt different. It was not oppressive. It was reflective. Humanity had been seen, studied, judged worthy of something greater than extinction. Governments began analyzing the transmitted data. Scientists realized the gift embedded within the pulse could advance civilization by centuries if understood correctly. The most dangerous ship ever detected had not destroyed Earth, it had challenged it. If you have followed this journey from the first signal to this final revelation, subscribe to my YouTube channel now. More stories of first contact and cosmic mysteries are coming, and you do not want to miss what humanity discovers next. Earth detected this ship, then everything went silent. And in that silence, humanity found its future.